Hi, welcome to my YouTube. This is another video part of the Pimp My Shoot series. Today it's on the VZ-58. One of the most popular mod a rifle owner could do to their rifle is to change the appearance. A simple change of the stock on an SKS could give you the feel of something modern from something that is 2 generations ago, but without going through the expense of buying an entire rifle. With regards to the VZ-58, the most popular mod in Canada is to make it look like an AK-47. A change in the pistol grip or a stock is all you need to satisfy that itch of owning something that's either you can't afford, which is a Valmet, or something you're prohibited from owning. Today, I'm going to show you how to pimp your VZ-58 to look like a Romanian AK-47. The reason I chose the Romanian is because of this unusual handguard. I will show you how to adapt a Romanian pistol grip and a stock to fit your VZ-58 and modify a VZ-58 wood handguard to make it appear to look like a Romanian handguard. I'm going to start with the easiest, which is the pistol grip, followed by the stock, and finally ending up with the handguard. So let's begin. I think this looks pretty cool. There are a few ways to attach an AK pistol grip to a VZ-58. This is just one way. There's a few more. When you get an AK pistol grip, try to get the long screw with it, because you cannot use the VZ-58 screw because it's too short. But you cannot use the AK nut because the AK nut is too big. You have to reuse the VZ-58 nut. But you have to use the longer AK screw, but you can't use the short VZ-58 screw. Okay, so first, this is what I did. This is the unmodified AK grip. I happen to have a spare VZ-58 trigger, and it has the pistol grip retaining plate, and I basically put it on top like this, and with the felt pen I basically drew the top part black that I wanted to remove. And then all around the top part of the grip, I took off about 1/8 of an inch. This is what it looked like. Okay. And this pistol grip retaining plate fits neatly to the modified AK grip. I wanted to show the retaining plate in its entirety. Now, because there was a space in here, I had to fill the space with a ABS plastic plumbing pipe. I crazy glued it so it wouldn't move forward, because I didn't want the space between the back of the plate and the back of the grip. I wanted it like this. Without that ABS plate, it would slide forward because the screw is in an angle, and I will be pulling it towards the trigger guard, and then I would end up with a space at the back of the plate, and I didn't want that. Now, there's another method of modifying your AK grip, and that's to partially show the plate. What it does, it shows the back of the plate, but it doesn't show the front of the plate. And what that does is that they just cut a line, and the top part of this grip would show, but the back part would you see the plate. And I didn't want that. It's kind of a like half and half type of thing, and I just didn't particularly like that idea. So this is the way I went. Okay, another option, and that's probably the easiest option, is to remove majority of the plate. And what I would do, and I've done this before with my VZ-58, is that I cut a line all across, come across, and then take majority of this, like a U shape, remove the plate, so my unmodified AK grip would fit right in there. Okay, now you were wondering, would this grip hold steady without the retaining plate? It actually does. What happens is that because of the screw pulls the grip towards the front because it's in an angle, this part fits nicely to the back of the trigger guard. You see that space? It fits right there. And the years that I had it, it held pretty steady. It didn't wobble or anything of that sort. So yes, that would be the easiest, but that would require you to harm the rifle. This is a very rare rifle, so there's no way I was going to do that. And I chose to do it this way. I'll show it to you again. Okay, next, buttstock. To remove this modified AK buttstock, I already removed the butt plate. You need a wrench. Slide it in. Okay. Okay, what we have here is the a 1/4 inch, 4-inch screw. The thread is 28. The original VZ-58 butt retaining plate. This is a modified Romanian AK buttstock. There's a washer, locking washer, and a 1/4 inch nut. And the screw had to be beveled. The heads had to be beveled because the screw is not straight. It had to be in an angle, so you had to do that. And I also cut a slit, just in case, you know, when you're unscrewing it, you start to turn, and you can put a screw to that. And I put a soft copper between the steel screw and of course the receiver. I didn't like steel against steel. Now the stock, what you need to do is basically there's a piece of wood that comes out this direction about, and it goes into the rear trunnion of an AK-47. You need to cut that off and then modify the front end of the butt stock to fit this VZ-58 butt retaining plate like this. Now inside the AK buttstock is two holes. The bottom hole is for the cleaning kit. The top hole is just basically a hole. And it goes part way. You need to determine where it stops. And I'll show that in a moment. So let's put this away and get yourself a piece of sheet of paper. It could be a newspaper. And lay the buttstock on the paper. Draw the outline with a felt pen, and then get a wooden dowel or a thin broom handle or even a copper pipe like this, and slide it in the top hole. And make sure you're not off in an angle. Make sure it's aligned with the top of the hole. And then draw alongside the copper pipe, and then repeat that with the bottom part of the hole, and then do the same thing. Mark where your dowel or your copper pipe stop, and then lay it down like this. So basically the hole stops right about here. About, I would say, about 3 inches from the front. So let's repeat that again, but this time we're going to get a masking tape. Put that in. Put that on. And then where you mark the copper pipe and align it. So this is where line this up with your drawing, and this is basically what it is. You might have to do this a couple of times. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The cavity runs from here all the way down to here. Now you have to drill it solid from here to here, so therefore you would have to drill a 1/4 inch hole from the center of this plate to the center of this hole. So basically the center of this plate is here and the center of the hole is there. You need to drill 1/4 inch shaft or hole all the way down. Now I managed to do that freehand. I just basically made sure that this is held straight, and then I went straight down with a 1/4 inch drill bit. Okay, so that's what you need to do. I want to explain a little bit more about why I beveled the screw, beveled the head of the screw. And the reason why is because if this was to be straight, then the stock would be too high. I would not be able to use the iron sight. It's just the way it was designed differently than the VZ-58. And that's why I had to bevel this so it would be basically adjustable to wherever is comfortable for whoever cut a different angle on the front of the buttstock. For me, it was quite a steep angle. So in other words, I had to basically cut more of the bottom, and therefore it would be more lower angle like this, and therefore this had to be able to be like that. Now other people might find it a little higher would be better for them. That's fine, but for me, I'm more comfortable like this to use the iron sight. So that's why I've done like this, and that's the whole reason why this screw is beveled, and so therefore it gives the flexibility to basically adjust to whatever angle you prefer. Now before we get to the lower handguard, I want to show you briefly what I've done to the Romanian buttstock. It's strictly optional, you don't have to do it. I had scrap pieces of laminator lying around, so I filled in the cutout that was meant for a tang, upper tang and the lower tang. Now you'll notice this lower handguard, it's not Romanian. And the reason why I couldn't use the Romanian handguard is because it's about 3/4 inch too short. This is the real wood VZ-58 lower handguard and pistol grip. What I did, okay, I don't have any real wood right now, so I'm going to use these resins to show you what I've done. I attached the pistol grip to the lower. I put it in backwards and I tilted it in an angle. Basically, I removed a triangular piece on the top side and a triangular piece like here. I cut that bottom off. And the reason why I put it in an angle is to get the maximum curve in the handle. And I set it a little forward than the middle. Don't go too far back, otherwise you're going to hinder the magazine going in. And then I glued the two together. Then I screwed it with a VZ-58 screw. And the nut, I went to Home Depot and I got a T-nut. And I Loctite it. You just can't just glue it, otherwise it's going to break off with all the recoil. So, yep, and then I put a curve on the back side of the lower handguard, and also put a curve on the front. So it'll have a more natural curve. Okay, so that's how you pimp your VZ-58 with Romanian furniture. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe.